One of the unique vinyasas in Ashtanga Yoga is to lift up from Padmasana, the Lotus position, unravel the body and land delicately in Chaturanga Dandasana. It's one of those movements that adds a certain dynamism and flair to the practice, but it can also be a real struggle if you're yet to master the move. And it's obviously made even more challenging by the fact that it tends to pop up in some really difficult moments in the Ashtanga sequence. After Kukutasana is one of them, which is just around the peak of the primary series. The exit from Supta Vajrasana, which is of course after that string of difficult back bends, and one that plenty of students seem to remain blissfully unaware of, the exit directly out of Utplutihi. But for the most part, we will always start this movement from the ground and would initiate by lifting up, and that is an essential component. So if you aren't yet ready to completely lift the seat and lift the knees off the ground, then it's very likely that your best way of practicing these postures will just be to come out of Padmasana, cross the legs, and use the normal jump back to get back to Chatwari. But to get a feel for that lift up, place the hands down just ahead of the hips, shoulders drawing down, lats engage, firming the lower belly and lifting the knees to start. Now, if you can lean forward and straighten the arms to lift all the way up from here, then we've really got something to work with. But it tends to be at exactly this point that most will run into their first major obstacle in doing this movement, and that is getting the knees through the arms. Sometimes they just don't fit, they're just too wide to go through. So if that's the case for you, we'll have to readjust. Tighten up your lotus position by drawing the knees together. Set up with the hands just a little wider than you usually do and slightly turn the index fingers in towards each other. That way, when you bend the elbows to rotate, they'll slightly flare out to the sides, opening a little gap for your knees to fit through. And as you rotate, try to get tight, round your back, and try to close that gap between your chest and your knees. Lean forward, taking your shoulders past the wrists, and quickly unravel the legs. If you get caught up with the legs, then focus mainly on the left leg. That one is on top, so if you can free it up, then the right leg will naturally follow. Just be conscious of the fact that when you unravel the legs, you're taking more weight back behind your foundation, which is the hands. So the further forward you can lean, the more time you'll have in the air, and your movement will just be a lot more confident and controlled. Finally, just practice this with the awareness that it's a very advanced movement. It takes a lot of strength in the core and strength in the upper body. It takes a lot of openness in the hips and stability in the knees. And ultimately, it's just a skill that needs to be refined over time. So practice it carefully, practice consistently inside the context of your regular Ashtanga practice, and I have no doubt that you'll start to see it improve. All right, feel free to pop me a message below if you so desire. Subscribe for more videos. See you in the next one.